Hello everyone, this is Meet Vyas and today I'm going to explain random walk. Okay, so random walk is the topic of statistical mechanics. So before we start this topic, we are going to consider what is statistical mechanics. Okay, so there are two types of thermal study of the system. Okay, one in which we consider the system at macroscopic level, which is called thermodynamics, and another one in which we consider the system at microscopic level, which is called statistical mechanics. So generally we can say that we consider the small constituent particle of the system in statistical mechanics. So I hope you have got idea about statistical mechanics. So now let's talk about random walk. Okay, so random walk is the kind of motion in which a person or particle can move in any direction. It can be upward, downward, or forward and backward. Okay, so let's talk about the types of random walk. Okay, so there are three types of random walk. Okay, first one is one dimensional random walk, second one is two dimensional random walk, and third one is three dimensional random walk. Now let's talk about one dimensional random walk. In one dimensional random walk, I have taken the example of person walking on the rope. Here you can see the person walking on the rope can take two direction to move. Okay, he can move in forward direction or he can move in downward direction, sorry, in backward direction. He cannot move upward or downwards. Okay, so we can say that this man is doing one dimensional random walk. Okay, now let's talk about two dimensional random walk. Okay, so in two dimensional random walk we can take the example of ant moving on the soil. Okay, so here I have taken the example of ant moving on the soil. So ant can move in upward direction as well as downward direction, in forward direction, and as well as backward direction. Okay, now let's talk about three dimensional walk. Okay, so in three dimensional walk we have considered one air chamber in which we have one gas molecule which is doing Brownian motion. Here we can see the particle is doing Brownian motion, and this Brownian motion can be considered as three dimensional random walk. Now let's talk about the physical quantities which are related to random walk. Okay, so here we have considered one dimensional random walk. Okay, so in one dimensional random walk we have considered one path. Okay, and one origin point on that path. Okay, so here you can see x0 is the origin point, and from the origin we at the L distance we have another point. So this point and origin point, the distance between these two points can be called as L, step length, which will remain constant throughout the path. Okay, so L will remain constant always throughout this path. Okay, and x is 0 at origin point. Okay, now we are going to consider four main physical quantities related to this random walk. Okay, so first one will be the number of steps taken towards right hand side. Number of steps the man or particle has taken towards right hand side we will call as n1. Okay, the number of steps taken towards left hand side we will call as left n2. Okay, so the total number of steps will be n, capital N is equal to n1 plus n2. Okay, now let's talk about the probability. The probability of finding particle at the particular right hand side and left hand side can be denoted by P and Q. Here I have shown the probability of taking place at right hand side is p, and probability of taking steps towards left is q. So total probability will be p plus q is equal to 1. The probability always can be 0 or 1. Okay. The person is present or he is not present at that time. Okay, so probability always can be 0 or 1. Here we have 1, so the particle or particular person is present at that time. Okay, now let's talk about displacement. Okay, so here if we talk about displacement, here you can see that here this is the step length which is L. Now as the man or particle move forwards, it will be a, the the step length will be the multiple of integer 1, 2, 3 and so on. So we can generalize this formula as displacement is equal to ml, where m will be the integer, any integer we can say 1, 2, 3 or so on. Okay, so we have considered here four main physical quantities. First one is steps taken towards right hand side, which is n1, steps taken toward left hand side, which is n2, and the probability of finding particle at right hand side, which is p. The probability of finding particle at left hand side is q, and total probability is p plus q is equal to 1. And the total number of steps the particle has taken is capital N, which is N is equal to N1 plus N2, and the displacement is equal to ml, where m is the integer which can take any value 1, 2, 3 and so on. Now let's talk about the probability of taking n1 steps towards right hand side. The p was the probability of finding particle, and now we are going to consider the probability of finding par- sorry, probability of taking n1 steps towards right hand side. So the equation will be wn. Here n is the total number of steps the particle has taken. Okay, and the n1 is the total number of steps particle has taken towards right hand side, and the equation will be nc n1 p raised to n1 and q raised to n2. And since we are going to talk about n1 only, so we can convert this n2 into n1 by using this formula. N is equal to n1 plus n2, so n2 will be n1 minus small n1. So let's put this value in this equation. So we will get wn of n1 is equal to nc n1 p raised to n1 and q raised to n minus n1. Now let's consider the physical property we have considered in this equation. Okay, so here n is the total number of steps, n1 is the total number of steps towards right hand side. Here n1 is the number of steps towards right hand side as well. P is the probability of finding particle at right hand side, q is the probability of finding particle at left hand side, and n minus n1 is equal to n2, which is the steps taken towards left hand side. Now nc n1, these steps can be considered as n factorial upon n1 factorial into n minus n1 factorial. We can put this value in this particular equation. Okay, so we have already got the equation for the probability of taking n1 steps towards right hand side. Now let's talk about left hand side. So probability of taking n2 steps towards left hand side will be wn of n2 is equal to nc n2, this is the q, which is probability of finding particle at left hand side, raised to n2 and into p raised to n1. Okay, now since we are going to talk about n2, okay, so this whole equation we want in terms of n2, so we will convert this n1, convert this n1 into the n2, so we will have n1 is equal to capital N minus n2. So let's put this value in this equation, so we will get wn of n2 is equal to nc small n2 q raised to n2 into p raised to capital N minus small n2. Okay, where nc cn2 will be n factorial upon n2 factorial into n minus n2 factorial. Okay, so the final equation will be wn of n2 is equal to n factorial upon n2 factorial into n minus n2 factorial q raised to n2. Q is the probability of finding particle at left hand side, p raised to n minus n2, where p is the probability of finding particle at right hand side. Okay, now let's take some example so we can understand this concept very easily. Okay, so here is the example. So in this example we have given this man is walking on the road and he has taken 50 steps total. Okay, so here we have n is equal to 50 total steps. The probability of taking step toward left is q is equal to 1 by 3. So we have given probability of finding particle at or finding man is 1 by 3, q is equal to 1 by 3. Okay, so what is the probability that it will take 6 steps towards right? So 6 steps towards right means we have also given n1 is equal to 6. Okay, so we have given n is equal to 50 here, n is equal to 50. Q, the probability of finding man at left hand side is 1 by 3. So we already know the equation p plus q is equal to 1. So from this equation we can get the value of p also. So we will get p is equal to 1 minus q and p will be 1 minus 1 by 3 and p will be 2 by 3. So we have got the probability of finding particle at left hand side and right hand side. Q is 1 by 3, which is probability of finding particle at left hand side, and P is the 2 by 3, which is the probability of finding particle at right hand side. Okay, so and the total steps man has taken towards right hand side is 6 steps. Now let's use the equation. Okay, as we have considered, here we have taken wn of n1 will be nc n1 p raised to n1 and q raised to n2. Since we are going to talk about n1, so we will convert this whole equation into n1. So we are going to take here n minus n1 instead of n2. Okay, so we will have n2 is equal to n minus n1 here. Okay, so we will have finally wn of n1 is equal to n factorial upon n1 factorial into n minus n1 factorial p raised to n1 and q raised to n minus 1, where n is 50, n1 is 6, and total number of steps n is equal to n1 plus n2. So we will get n2 is equal to n minus n2. Okay, so we already know that the value of n minus n1 will be 44, because total number of steps is 50 and the number of steps the person has taken at right hand side is n1 is 6, so this whole term will become 44. Okay, so we will get the whole equation as that Wn of n1 is equal to 50 factorial upon 6 factorial into 44 factorial into 2 by 3. This is the probability of finding person at right hand side raised to 6, and this is the probability of finding particle at left hand side raised to 44. Okay, so this will be the probability of taking n1 6 steps towards right hand sides. Okay, now let's take another example, okay, in which we have given what is the probability he will return to his initial position x is equal to 0 after taking steps n is equal to 70 steps and step length is 1 centimeter. Okay, so we have given here total number of steps 70 and step length is equal to 1 centimeter. We have to determine here the probability at which he will return to his initial position. Okay, so here we are going to consider the displacement first. Here we already know we are finding the probability of the person at the origin, so there will be no displacement, so x will be 0. So ml x is equal to ml will be also 0. So here we have taken x is equal to m. Now let's talk about the displacement. Okay, now in terms of this, if we want to talk about displacement in terms of n1 and n2, we can write down as x is equal to n1l minus n2l. If it is in right hand direction, we can write n1 minus n1l minus n2l, and if it is in displacement is in right left hand side, so it will be x is equal to n2l minus n1l. Okay, now we are talking about right hand side, so it will be x is equal to n1l minus n2l. Now we already know that, so ml will be is equal to n1 minus n2 l, ll will be cancelled, so we will get m is equal to n1 minus n2. Since the displacement is 0, n1 minus n2 will become 0. Okay, so n1 minus n2 will become 0, and we have total steps, this term will become 0, I am here. Okay, so we will have n1 is equal to n2. Okay, and the total steps is n is equal to n1 plus n2, and here we already know m is equal to 0, so n minus n2 will be is equal to 0, and so we will get n1 is equal to n2. And since we have the total number of steps n is equal to 70, so both are same, n1 and n2 are same, so it will be 35 equally distributed steps. Okay, which will be n1 is equal to n2 is equal to 35. So we have already got the number of steps the man has taken towards right and towards left is 35 because of displacement m is equal to ml is equal to 0. Okay, so now let's talk about further. So we will have this equation. So equation of probability of finding person at origin after taking steps 35, we will get nc n1 p raised to n1 and q raised to n2. So finally we will get equation wn of n is equal to 35 70 factorial upon 3 35 factorial into 35 factorial 35 raised to 2 by 3 and 35 raised to 1 by 3, where p is 2 by 3 and q is 1 by 3. Okay, thanks for watching my lecture.